Chapter 1. Chloe sighed heavily when she saw a magazine with earmarked pages being pulled from the bright red overnight case tossed on the rollaway cot next to the window. She hung her head and groaned like a woman dying, eliciting a wicked laugh from the bag's owner. "Emma Wallace, I can't believe you still do those silly quizzes. I will not be answering any questions about my favorite position during sex, so don't even ask." Emma studied her friend Chloe, and then pointed the magazine at her, punching the air with it for emphasis. "I'll take it easy on you because your divorce is still fresh, but you need soul-searching more than any of us, Chloe. You stayed with a man who cheated on you for more years than I did. This is not just a quiz. It's part of your journey to self-discovery." "Journey to self-discovery? Geez, Emma, you're starting to sound more and more like those greeting cards you write," Taylor Baird said, dragging an expensive black leather overnight case on wheels into the room behind her. Emma and Chloe smiled at the svelte blonde who looked all business in her suit. Chloe ran over to hug her, surprised to be getting all choked up over how happy she truly was to see Taylor. "Thank God you're here. Emma brought a quiz," Chloe complained, saying it as if it were a dirty word. Finally letting Taylor go, Chloe returned to her unpacking, a little embarrassed about how incredibly happy she was to be with her friends again. God, she should never have left. "Command some authority here, Taylor, and tell Emma no quiz questions. I moved to the West Coast to get away from being emotionally tortured," Chloe said. Taylor laughed, her voice husky. "Remember in college when Emma got the idea that we needed to get our belly buttons pierced to be sexy?" "Unfortunately," Chloe said, remembering the trauma all too well. She had screamed in pain while Emma had laughed, and Taylor had winced in sympathy. But ironically, Chloe had kept the piercing over the years, mostly because it had cost her so dearly to get it, but also because it made her feel sexy even when her husband Aaron hadn't liked it. Wearing jewelry in her belly had been her way of rebelling against him when they fought, which ended up being often during the almost 5 years they had been married. "Earth to Chloe, where are you?" Emma called, waving a hand in front of Chloe's face. "That piercing hurt like hell, Em," Chloe informed her, glaring hard as she remembered the pain. "Everything worth doing hurts a little, even exercising. And who was it that ran around in navel-revealing shirts all that year? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't me or Taylor showing off our piercings," Emma reminded her, not a bit embarrassed to gloat. "What else could I do but show it off? I figured I might as well enjoy flaunting it after going through hell to get it done," Chloe insisted, glaring at Emma, who stuck out her tongue. "I bet you still have your piercing," Emma said with a knowing grin. "I don't. Taylor doesn't. Tell us the truth, Chloe." "A woman has a right to keep some secrets, especially from nosy friends," Chloe announced, turning away from their knowing smiles. When both Emma and Taylor laughed, Chloe rolled her eyes because, well, she had kept her piercing, and it had felt very brave to take a healthy chunk of her savings and buy a tiny real diamond-studded ring to wear there. It made her feel a lot younger than 40. She had needed help to feel better about her 36-year-old husband replacing her with a skinny woman half her age. Taylor laughed at Chloe's and Emma's bickering, thinking 5 years living on opposite coasts hadn't changed the dynamic between them much. Back in college, though, Chloe's programming to please people she cared about had practically guaranteed she would never outsmart a determined Emma, hell-bent on a makeover. Helping people improve themselves was practically a religion to Em, and she and Chloe were usually favored converts. "We were 21, not 16 when we got those piercings, Chloe Zanders. You could have said no about the belly button ring. You can say no to the quiz now. That was my point for bringing it up. It's time to command your own authority," Taylor said with a laugh. "Trust me, Baird. I'm not the pushover I was in college. I command authority when I need to nowadays, but you're not fooling me. If I don't play along, you and Emma will think I'm just as boring as my ex did," Chloe said, turning away to shake out her clothes from the exercise duffel she had brought. She glared at the plain black gym bag. It wasn't red and perky like Emma's, or sleekly black like Taylor's.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.